I want to show what a good listing looks like and a bad listing looks like. And then I'll go through the steps of actually editing and optimizing a listing. Because the idea is you want to fill out as much information as possible, and you want to basically make the page as robust as it possibly can be if you're able to make those changes. So this applies more for listings that you're creating and for, let's say, private label products and for, things that you own that you want to make sure the customer is happy looking at the page, and as well as Amazon algorithm to be able to pick up on certain things. So let me find some on Amazon. I had an example before of a bad listing. I don't remember exactly what it was though. So for our listing, here's an example of something that we private label. So basically we have the title, which is extremely wordy, but because Amazon in their algorithm, they take off of these keywords when customers use search, when they're customer search terms. So we want to have relevant information that relates to the product, as well as telling the customer what it is. Because most people don't care there's a lot of extra words, and often you see, at least in this category, a lot of very wordy products, and you see this in electronics as well. It's not very concise, which actually works in its benefit because there's more ways to search it, and the customer will generally just read the first few words just to get an idea what the product is, and if they care more about the other stuff, it's what they look for. So here we have our title is all natural anti-inflammatory cream, pain relief cream. It's repetitive with Manuka honey, and then we're just listing off things that it heals. Now this isn't necessarily the best title out there, but it does its job. Yeah, we have one question.
Just on the last topic.
Yep.
Melissa would have probably asked you to do that. My question is, this is your product?
Yeah, we private label this product.
Do you manufacture it in China?
In New Zealand, actually. So what's interesting about our product is Manuka honey is indigenous to New Zealand, and Sam got in contact with somebody who he knows very well that does manufacturing, and he got in contact with a doctor who put together the formula to do this and did a lot of tests, and found that Manuka honey has pretty good healing capabilities, and it grows in it's indigenous to New Zealand, so they manufacture it there, and it really does work. It is a good cream. We probably have some in Sam's office. We want to give a sample out. Sam has in his office. We have a few. Yeah. So if you guys want to, I can probably just take one and pass it around. Yeah. No, it does fairly well. So we have our what's it called? Our title is very wordy, and it has relevant data as well as not related to the topic, to the title rather, but just information about what it serves. So it helps fibromyalgia, sciatica, arthritis, pain, back pain, tennis elbow, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Then we have about the product. So we have the bullet points. Now the bullet points are very robust in our case. The bullet points don't have to be so wordy, but they do have to accomplish the goal of giving enough information about the product. Now a typical thing you see on bullet points is you see something in caps lock. You can't really bold them, but you see one main thing and then a quick description about it. So anti-inflammatory cream, then here's a bunch of things that it solves. Back pain relief cream, and it's just listing a whole. See, ours is weird because it's wording in terms of it's in listing things that are relevant to the product. Now we had someone help us create this page, and they did a lot of optimization and work on this before we had the final say in it, and he was testing a bunch of different things, and at a certain point our sales picked up, so we kept where it was at and didn't make any more changes to it. But generally speaking, you want to have a bullet point and then a description of that bullet point, a blurb about it, like a sentence or two sentences is what would work for the bullet points, that is. As I continue further down, you want to have your product description. Now, the product description, you want to basically have, you don't have to have this. This is arguably the least important piece of data on a product page, although it is very useful to have if you are a branded product, because you want to have people know about your product. You want to have, if you have a brand registry and you have enhanced brand content, you want to make this look great. We actually don't have enhanced brand content for this because they're screwing with our brand registry at the moment. Have to get that fixed. But we have things broken up into separate paragraphs. We have bullet points, and this can all be done with HTML formatting, which I'll go into a bit when I go to through the adding a product page. Because if you just have your if you type this out normally in the adding product page or in the Excel spreadsheet flat file template, it'll just be one long run-on paragraph. It's not going to format the space. Well, it's not going to format the line breaks or the bullet points or this and that. It has to be done through HTML formatting to get bolded and to get the breaks between lines. And Amazon has a whole page of what HTML formats they accept and what they don't accept. More often than not, the two main ones you want to use are page breaks and bold, because those are easy to put in, and I'll show that after. So the way you do a bolded text is this goes before and after the bolded text. If you want to do a page break, these actually didn't write this fully. You usually have to put a / in as for the ending portion. I don't know why this. I don't know too much detail. I mean, I'll find the better help page for this that shows the actual way to write it out. But basically, you put that code before the word and then that code after the word, but with the / before the letter, so it notates the end of that, that formatting. So you'll do that before and after this word, let's say, and then for the page break, you do it, at the end of a phrase, let's say, things like that. So that'll make it look nice, and and if you want to type it up into Word, just so you know what it looks like, and then apply the HTML codes afterward, that's totally fine as well. But just so you have an idea what it'll look like. But yeah, so on here you can put all the information about your brand or the product or about a specific, your story, if you have a specific story of how your company came to be. And then the rest of the information is basically, for us, since this is a cream, we have ingredients and we have, directions and legal disclaimers and things like that. And those are all applicable to the product. So showing this, let's just show, let's create a new product. So let's create a new product that's not Amazon's catalog. Add a product, create new product listing. So I'm just going to choose a random category at the moment. Let's go with beauty. Let's go with makeup. And I don't know, whatever this category is. You want to choose the category that's most accurate to your product, just so it gets categorized correctly. So in here, you fill out your product ID, your product name, your brand name, manufacturer. Honestly, you have to fill out everything star. Like you can't go around that. And anything that's optional. So you'll basically fill out all the vital information: your product name, product ID, brand name, manufacturer, et cetera, all the relevant data about the product. Variations if applicable. We can get to that later. Well, we can get to that in a bit if we need to. Then your offer is what you're selling it for, the MSRP. I would avoid sales in the moment unless you're doing promotions. Leave all this blank unless you're doing merchant fulfilled. Product tax code if you're collecting tax on the product. And now for images. So Amazon has specific qualifications they need for the images. It has to be, I think, at least 1,000 pixels on the longest side, and you can have up to 8 images, and it have to be on a pure white background. So there's a few documents we have that show what they have to be. But what you want to do is, if you can outsource to hire a photographer or hire an agency to do this, or if you just take your own pictures, we have software that we can recommend to you guys that you can use to get this on a pure white background. We've used Clipping Magic in the past, and I can show that really quickly. It's fairly easy to use. I don't remember how much it costs. But basically, you drag an image into the software. Here, someone did this recently, so I'll just show how this works. You basically, this is a bad picture. I'll show a better picture. Let's go. Here's probably a good one. So we have it. We took a picture. Actually, I'm gonna erase everything and start from scratch. There should be an erase all. Maybe I'm just forgetting if there's or not. Basically, what you do is you have to differentiate between what is the product and what is the background. So as of now, it's going to be, I don't know, there's got to be a start from scratch. Whatever it may be. So either way, you effectively, you choose what the product is. You highlight with green just so it can figure out what the color is. And if there's multiple colors, like here we have the bottoms white against white, you can like trace around it just so you can get a better, way of doing it. And then you want to put on red what the background is. And you can just click on the color, or you can circle around it just so the software will recognize what is the product and what is not the product. And you can kind of just click, and then you can zoom in and more thoroughly do this and things like that. So it,
Like it's like Photoshop, but
yeah, it's a cheaper version of Photoshop that you can do. You're gonna provide background, and you have this tool that you can literally, if you want to, you can place. That was bad. That was bad. You can make the borders if there's like specific areas that you need to, if it's not going correctly, and that works over here for the bottom part where there's shadows. So you can drag over here, and it'll more accurately. You can bend it around it, and you see the preview what it's going to look like. So you can kind of drag over and then figure out where it's supposed to look like. You can spend more time on this. This happens to be a bad example because this was a poorly taken picture with the light box. I think that just the lighting was off, and then the shadows are messing with it, especially because the shoe is the similar color of the backdrop. Either way, once you do that, you choose the background as pure white, and then you'll have effectively your picture ready for Amazon. This is a bad example of a shoe. I just chose one randomly in our system. But you can do that. You can download this, and I don't want to talk about hosting images at the moment because there's a lot of hosting softwares that are not working well. And so if you own the product, you can just download them and upload them into the add a product page, and put the images in here in the order that you want to put them in. So you see here we have front picture, back picture, with a graphic, with the jar off, and then we have some lifestyle pictures. Yeah. So we hired someone to help with this to get these lifestyle images, to Photoshop these together using public domain pictures, and there's also some software out there. I forgot what it's called. It's something magic, but it's Andy Slamon's and Liran Hirschkorn's program, and we've had a lot of clients use that in the past. And basically, they will do this exact thing. You give them a picture, and or let's say a few pictures, and they'll take care of all the images. They'll do up to 7 images per ASIN, and then tier it downward if you have variations for a specific cost. And they'll come up with the lifestyle images. They'll put your products in this. They'll put like the graphics of the sizes and whatnot. I'll show an example of one of our clients that used them. So yeah, so you got pictures of these jars and the towels, and they kind of put everything together, and we have images like this, natural yoga mat cleaner, soothing lavender, this and that, and they have all the data about it, and they're phenomenal looking pictures, and they got this just by having the basic pictures of the product to work with, the front and the back, and then they photoshopped everything around it and whatnot. This is one of our clients private label this. And they have a different sense, and the same thing goes on for these ones. But yeah. So with one basic picture, I forgot how much they cost, but to get to optimize a listing, there's a lot that goes into it, because you can't. It's not like eBay. You just take a picture, list it, and then it sends. And more goes into it. So you want to have relevant images. You want it to look nice. You want it to be presenting your product in the best possible light, and you also have to abide by Amazon's policies of pure white background and this and that and all that other stuff. After that, you have your description, and you see here our description has our HTML formatting. This is just in place of bold. It's just the same thing essentially. But our description, HTML formatting, our key features, any information on the legal disclaimer. This actually is blank because we actually added our ASIN twice to change the SKU. So this is the newer SKU. It's in the original listing there. Then we have the keywords. Now there's a lot of debate about the best way to do search terms and keywords here. And I don't personally know which is best. Now you have 5 blocks here, and each of these has a character limit. Now, a lot of people say you don't need commas. Some people say you do need commas to separate between different keywords. And here we have just all relevant, search terms for the product that relate to it. So anti-inflammatory cream, sciatica relief, arthritis cream, fibromyalgia, just buzzwords that relate to your product. You can have up to 5 of these, and up to, I want to say 250 characters in each of these rows. Some people say you should do only up to 5 to limit, but if you want more search, volume, having more in there would make it more searchable, because these are what you want to relate to your products. So you don't want them to be unrelated. You want them to be at least accurate to your product. Intended use, if applicable, you can add up to 5 of these as well. No, can you do more? No, you can go up to 5 of these. Subject matter, same thing. You can add more if you need to, but you know, and also you have I see this being filled in less than other fields more often than not. Target audience helps Amazon's algorithm know, you know, what it goes through. Other attributes, you know, here's examples: antique, cordless, waterproof, extra data as you want, and you want to fill out as much as possible. Platinum keywords, I don't remember if you're able to even do these. I think you have to, honestly, I forgot how to get to use platinum keywords. Yeah, for platinum merchants only. Yeah. So I have never really researched on that because I never had to use them. But basically, you want to fill out as much as you possibly can, just so with the page is as robust as possible with the descriptions, the bullet points, the title, the images, and all the back-end information. And here we have our shipping information, you know, manufacturer number, ingredients, directions, this and that, you know, whatever you fill out. Now, this can be filled out in the flat file, and often on the flat file there's more information, but this is an easier way of just visualizing it so you know exactly what you're filling out instead of having to go through a spreadsheet, scrolling all the way to the right to those 200 plus columns. It just gets very frustrating to work through sometimes. You know, fabric type, this and that. So filling out just any information you have on the product will be useful and should be edited. I mean, if you are manufacturing the product and you have that information ready available and you have the freedom to make changes whenever you want to, that's totally fine too. So you can always update it and see, oh, I made this change. Did this affect anything negatively, positively? You can play around and test to see how things go.